Hello, hello. Hello, hello, I'm live. Oh man, goodness. All right, so we aren't getting chat. We're not getting chat working just yet, and I need to figure out why. But man, holy cow, it's good to see all y'all. This is kind of surreal. I forgot how to do this, not gonna lie. Everyone's like, yeah, what the heck? It's like 1:30 in the morning. I don't know. I don't know time zones. Give me some slack. Cut me some slack. We need to figure out chat. We need to figure out how to get chat on the screen because I look lonesome all on my own up here. How's music, by the way? Is audio way too loud right now? I feel like it is, but that's just me. First of all, why is chat not working? Wow, there are a lot of things happening already, and you are triggering my ADHD. I copied the URL, I pasted in, and then I hit OK. It's chat! It's chat! Chat it's happening, it's on the side of the screen, and everyone is here, and this is phenomenal. It's almost like it works. It's almost like if you do it right, then it works. It's almost like it just works if you do it right. Why does everyone have the same color? I'm upset. You need to all have different... I would like you to have different colors, but I'm assuming this is just because it's... I'm assuming this is because it's all YouTube. But either way, I'm okay with this. Question, music is too loud, music is too loud, music is too loud. I've already seen the complaints. And yeah, you are exactly my hair color. I appreciate that, and I'm laughing hysterically. Internally, inside. On the inside, you can't see it because it's not on the outside. Music is a little bit too loud. Look at this real-time feedback, testing and production. How many of you are here, and why are you here? Look, hey, I need to get back to streaming. I need to figure out how to actually do it, for one thing. Figure out how to get chat working. And then I should do more of it because, you know what, it's kind of awesome and kind of fun. And I don't have to have the same, like, persona, jump cut, enthusiasm and activity and energetic enthusiasm. I said that already. To, you know, do like a video and a show. And that way you can kind of get the real me, you know? John After Dark is some of the olden days, and that way I can hang out with all of you. Did chat die? Did chat die? Chat died. Are you kidding? All right, I need your help. We're going in. We're going in together. And then chat explodes. So this is old cheeky, you know, Streamlabs. You're not supposed to see that URL, so don't look at it. Don't look at it. That would be awful. Don't look at it. But chat is now live, and then it's back. And you're all the same color. I feel like it's a little bit disorienting when you are on the right side of the screen and then the left side of the screen. I don't know if that's true for you or not either. Maybe we should move to the right. I feel like we should move to the right. Let's make a decision. Hey, you know what we can do? Check this out. Start a live poll. Get up on the screen. Chat on the camera screen. Left side. Right side. Look at this. Look at this audience participation. It's a real streamer. Right side. Right side's winning by a landslide to get things started. Yeah, so because, like, you are actively on the right side when you are in the old chat. And, like, screen view. Question is, why does chat keep dying? Anyway, let's go move to the right. Look at this. Drag you right on over. Because I'm a professional. I am a professional. And then we're good. John, what do you use on your hair? I use a shower. And I think that's okay, right? So, look, audio is in music is good at this point, is that right? This is so weird. I've been hyping myself up. I'm like, let's do it. Let's get back to streaming. Let's get back to having some cool quality time with the audience, with the folks, with the family, with the friends. I suppose we can end the poll now, by the way. End poll. Right side wins by a landslide. And the thing is, like, I get nervous. I feel like that never really goes away. I still get nervous because it's immediate and real time and active. But then it's like the moment you just hit the go button, you get this overwhelming pizzazz of all of you climbing in to hang out. So thank you so much. Look, there is a plan. I did want to go into the stream with an idea of something for us to do, or at least something for me to do, because that's what's happening. But I think it would be fun to have a little bit of time for us to just hang out like we're doing right now. And hopefully, I don't know, we could do some of that cheeky AMA shenanigans, but I might just kind of vibe with you all. I didn't want to do that for way too long, though. And now that I'm looking back over on YouTube, it says, like, how long have we been live for? We've been live for 7 minutes. 7 minutes together. And, yeah, everyone was screaming about the thumbnail. Should we switch the thumbnail? Maybe we should, like, make a thumbnail together. I feel like that would be kind of fun. That would also be a cool stream activity. I'm trying to remember all the things that we might be able to do together live and doing it for realsies. Whether it's some, hey, rip apart some silly, stupid malware samples or bad malicious code that folks have sent in my email. Or, I don't know, dark web shenanigans is a little bit spooky and scary to do live because you never know what's going to pop up on the screen, and that's like a danger zone. I'd have to remember to, like, go back to the, like, full camera every time I, like, move to a new tab, and that would probably not work well. Why is someone calling me? You really trying to call me the moment that I go live? Okay, now they've stopped calling. They know exactly what they're doing. But also some learning like malware dev would be kind of fun to do together live. Because, hey, there are a whole lot of courses and activities for things to be able to do that. And at least in this setup with, hey, you know, the cheesy live stream, then we can take it easy. And we can, you know, not be at breakneck pace. So I'm assuming I'm going to have some moments of, like, thinking and, like, dull, boring, dumb Googling and research and just trying to understand things. So this person texted me and they said, I thought you were streaming by accident again, lol. That's phenomenal, and I'm flattered. I'm flattered in the strangest way that you thought that I was accidentally streaming. It might be because the thumbnail is still another thing. Move the alerts to the left. Okay, so alerts are still happening. I feel like because that was off, I didn't see that the sound is off. I didn't see that happen whatsoever. Okie dokie. That is another problem resolved. Thank you all so much for helping me do this together. Thank you so much, holy cow, for these super chat. I didn't even see them. I'm the worst streamer in the world. Didn't even acknowledge all the support. Thank you so much, Star Helix. Thank you so much, Yossi Rodin. Hey, just pass Security Plus. Any hacks for finding a job? Yes, throw out applications. And just continue to put your resume in different places. My goodness, folks, I'm grateful for the super chats, but you totally don't have to. We're just vibing. I have questions. Please help. Hack the Box or Pentester Lab or any site for beginners. Please help. Look. Do what is interesting. Like, do what's fun. I know there are a whole lot of options for things to, like, practice and learn and just play in the playground. But, like, you have to choose the playground that is fun. And the thing that you like the most. So if you're having the most fun and you're enjoying, like, THM versus HTB versus Pentester Lab versus Burp Suite Academy versus Pico CTF versus, like, SQL Injection Alert. There's so many of them. But, like, seriously, just choose the one that you enjoy. And that's that. Could you land a pen tester role with a pen test plus, sir? Yeah. Do not distract me. Please do not take me away from my focus right now. Alerts are a bit slow, fix them. So the thing is, like, it is currently in low latency mode. So YouTube gives you a couple of these options. And I can show this. I don't think you can show this, but it's giving me a warning and I would just embarrass myself because the stream's bitrate is lower than recommended. So you can choose whether you want the stream to be in like normal latency or low latency or ultra low latency. Make a thumbnail. Everyone wants to make a thumbnail. Okay, fine. You're firing up my ADHD again. You look super tall. I am not tall at all. I'm extremely short. Yeah, what is low latency? It's a 15-20 second delay? Okay, we better switch to ultra low latency for the next time. That is completely my bad. But now we know. I literally, I forgot how to stream. I forgot how to stream. But how are you all? What's going on? How's your Friday? If it is still Friday for your time zone, wherever you are. And look, my friends, we got Old Reliable with us here today. Normally I've been doing, like, Ghost, but we didn't have any more. And I just went for the trusty Old Reliable Mr. M in green. Anyway. It's so weird. Chat, like, breaks and then just replenishes. Oh, okay. These text messages are really throwing me off my game. Person that you know who you are, I can't. Okay, we had a mission. We had a job to do today. I'm getting distracted by chat. I am going to do some cool collab stuff with some of those folks. Thank you so much for the super chat. Can you make some content about distributed denial of service and botnets? Probably not. Those walk the ethical gray line. We have a mission. Stop it. Stop it. Chat, I can't trust you right now. What we're going to do is do some exploratory, fun learning and research on a topic that may all be dear to your hearts. It certainly is to mine. UAC bypasses, user account control. You know, when you try to pop open, you know what, let's do it. Let's just dive right in. Let's start the party as quick as we can. Over here on my desktop, let's open up the Windows terminal. Oh, I tried to move around like where my taskbar would be, and now it just puts it in random different places. Because I thought, like, for the stream's sake, it'd be cool, but now it's just an absolute mess. Are you still able to see chat when we're in the screen mode? I hope so. So, listen, opening up a program, right, when you're running on your computer, you are traditionally opening up programs in a medium integrity level. And what about the thumbnail? Everyone, stop. Stop distracting me. I wanted it to be low-key. I wanted it to be quiet, simple, and chill for just us. The elite few proud folks that knew to click on this despite the broken thumbnail. I literally put it as broken .jpg. I literally have a file. Let me show you this horrendous folder. These are all the thumbnails. These are the thumbnails. This is GIMP. This is all the PNG files. And I have saved my boy broken.jpg. Oh, I clicked on the draw button. So I guess we're going to draw. Look at these. This is nice. Burlesque. The name of this theme is Burlesque. I don't know about that. I chose this intentionally so that it would be simple and easy and you wouldn't overwhelm me. And look, you're all already overwhelming me. When you open up a program like Windows Terminal, you open up a program in medium integrity mode because that's just how a regular user would do it. However, if you wanted to open up a program in administrator mode, you would try to right-click it and click Run as Administrator. Or if you're a smart person, you would hit Control and Shift. I think it's Shift-Enter. I might be just talking up the wazoo. It's Shift-Enter. No, it's not. It is Control-Shift-Enter. I don't even know if that shows when UAC pops up. So now I allowed this program to run as administrator. However, it popped up with what I honestly have no idea if you can even see, the UAC or user account control prompt. It says, look, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And you say yes. Yep. Control Shift. The chat is going off. Thank you for letting me know. This is how we learn together. So, now, there are... Zachovich, is that you, my friend? Hey, thank you so much. Have fun opening programs. Thank you for your $6.90. Nice. What we're going to do is look up some of these options, not of the picker wheel, with UAC bypass. Now, the easy thing is FOD helper. And you all knew that. You all already knew that FOD helper would be the ideal, but there are a couple other options and some things that I saw on the old Twitterverse and all of these things that are worthwhile to look at and read. So that is what's going to happen. That is what is going to happen. Now, we have laid the foundation. We have already explained, expressed, described, and illuminated what it really means when we fire up a program like the Windows terminal in administrator mode or non-administrator mode. But Hacktricks, our good friends Carlos Pullup, has given us the lowdown and the breakdown as to what this all really means. Chatting about the tokens and etc. So I've gone through a little bit of this already, but I want to go through more of it because I want us to go through it together. And it's super annoying that this navigation is on the side, because I want you to be able to see this without having chat in the way. And will the scuff stream be saved? Dude, I don't know. The thing is, these are at least traditionally controlled by one of the registry keys, and then whether or not you're actually able to use UAC. There are a couple others that, like idiosyncrasies underneath it, because there's actually, I think, 2. Yeah, they have enable Lua and local account token filter policy to determine whether or not UAC is going to do what it's going to do. But ultimately, I kind of want to explore and see what happens if you even toggle these on or off. The problem is they're in the HK local machine hive, so you need administrative access already to be able to manipulate that. You would need to bypass UAC in order to turn off UAC, in which case, chicken and the egg problem, right? But we should probably actually get a virtual machine up and running that would be willing to do these things for me. Is chat still borked? Move camera and chat to the left? Like in the middle or like on the other side of the screen? Yeah, you know what? That might be better for reading shenanigans. Anyway. I feel like then we have to go back in the full cam thing to chat on the left, though. You're making the decisions here, not me. It's your world. I'm just living in it. Yes, I have way too many virtual machines. Please don't make fun of me. Please stop. Let's just get a Windows development machine. Let's pull this thing up. So my Windows development machine is set up as a stupid template so that it's going to be able... Oh, it's already on. We should stop that, because I don't know what's going to be turned on if I fire that up. We should power off that virtual machine. Now we can go ahead and clone this, and this is staged with like some Visual Studio tools. This is staged with Go, Nim, WDK for stuff, and Defender, the antivirus, is turned off. So I think we can call this before Akira Ransomware, but maybe before Choco and Git. I think that's a safe call. And let's just call this UAC Playground. Are you good with that? And now we can fire that up. I accidentally turned on Windows Development because VMware is too slow. And the thing is, I want another one of these because I want to end up playing with 2 virtual machines for the time being. Hey, thank you so much for the membership, Rich. You're phenomenal. How many folks are hanging out with us? This is kind of wild. I really got to do more streams. 260? Thank you so much, everybody. This is cool. Hopefully chat survives. And what happened is that was weird. Are there like duplicate things on the screen? Oh, there are, because chat is visible both on the main screen and the tiny screen. if that makes any sense remotely. So here we are in our good old Windows 11 virtual machine set up to do some Windows development stuff. We can amp up this text size so you can see that a little bit better depending on what we're going to do. That is in display settings, not personalization. Okay, so now it's big and beefy. And we should fire up regedit, and again, Control-Shift-Enter is what will allow me to open that with the user account control in the way, and we've already disabled Windows Defender. So if I go fire up Defender, it is nerfed and killed and absolutely demolished, annihilated, obliterated, so it's never going to be able to get protection info. If you want to figure out how to do that, that is on my old channel here for the old John Hammond Disable Defender. With the cringiest thumbnail, delete right there. Right there, right there, right there, right there. 68,000 views, not too bad. Hey, fellas, can I please say today's video, or yesterday's video, is popping off. Like, it's doing well. I never expected it. Look at it, 69,000 views in a day? Unreal. Let's get back to our virtual machine. And shut up. Do not update Xbox Game Bar. I do not need that at all. What's happening? Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for the positive feedback and reception on... Okay, we need to figure out a way to... Look, we're going meta. We're going super meta right now. This is my ADHD. Forgive me. We're going back. We're going back. We're going to add a backing to our good friend OBS. And we'll bring this alpha channel down so that we have a slightly transparent color box, which is now over me, but I'm going to drag it over our stupid Dumbo chat. Does that make sense? That should realistically be put in a group, but I'm bad, so it's not going to. And the chat on the right-hand side is still taking up the space there. Okay, this is way too meta, and scuff stream, as it should be. We're here to have fun. We can group that in a little bit, but yeah. Okay, extremely meta. That color source still needs to be a little bit darker. Let's go like 200. There we go. It's a little bit better. Okay, thanks so much for folks hanging out. I hear some shenanigans going to head out. Lightjack05, thanks for hanging with us. Flip the chat upside down. So we need to write some code that will turn our monitor upside down. That's the real goal. And that's why we need to bypass user account control. Anyway, we are here. Again, completely distracted, but let's go look for some more UAC bypasses. Move the chat a bit up. It's touching your camera. You're right. Oh, MSN is just doing its thing. MSN is just listing anything that it wants, and I'm broadcasting that to the open internet. What we're going to do is go back to Google for our UAC bypass. I want to look at that Elastic article. GitHub topics I don't care about. These are not the results that I wanted because I'm on Bing. Ugh. Elastic squeaked its way through, though. Elastic still came through. We'll go back to Hacktrix. And let's go grab that again. Music is too quiet now. Chat's still not scrolling. All these problems need to just go away. Because I don't want to deal with them. And that's that. So enable Lua should be 1 by default. Because user account control is just going to be on. Right? So if we were to use a reg query command, you would be able to see that just naturally, right? Even in a medium integrity prompt. So if I go to my terminal and paste in reg query, you should be able to see that, right? But if we change that to a reg add, get out of my life, Microsoft Rewards. I don't care. I don't care. No one in this room cares. So we'll specify the location that we want with /v to be the name of the value. But Actually, when we're trying to add, yeah, that should still be that. /D should be the data, and the type should be reg binary. So since it's already present and it is a D word, we would just switch that to 0. However, we wouldn't be able to do that, correct? Because of reg add. Let me see if I can even get the syntax right for one thing. /T should be a reg D word, /D should be a 0. But of course, we will not be able to do that because currently UAC is on. Now, if I open up another terminal, Control-Shift-Enter, run with UAC, and as an admin, we can paste this in, and that will allow us to overwrite our registry key that will enable that. Granted, I wrote yay. Oh, and really, Defender is, like, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So you would require a reboot to actually just straight up turn off user account control? That's kind of wild. I'm assuming that means that I would no longer be able to Control-Shift-Enter, but I mean, obviously I can. I would need a reboot for that to be in place. Hey, Matthew, thank you so much. I super appreciate all the support and the $10. Thank you so much. So that obviously does nothing. That obviously does not do what we want without a reboot, which is not fair, and you would need to have administrator privileges to be able to toggle that in the first place, so obviously this is not viable. We need the stupid bypass, or we need to think of how we could live with user account control to still run a payload, whatever or not that might be, whatever that might be, anything with administrator permissions or privileges, we want that to be able to do its thing. Now, let's go back to reading on this because they did express another registry key in that same Hive, correct? In HKey local machine, software, Microsoft Windows current version policy system. The enable Lua key, or value, sorry, under that key is what we would be able to play with. And the level is actually defined with the consent prompt behavior admin. But what about the local account token filter policy? Two different pieces. Yep. Hey, would you all like to have a text-to-speech, by the way, if you wanted to completely distract me? I want that, or I hope that would be kind of a fun playground to... Microsoft Rewards, get out of my life. I figured that would be kind of fun for more of our shenanigans. Yes. Yes. Okay, so if you do some super chats, we can totally figure out text-to-speech. Probably tomorrow, because I do want to stream tomorrow, and then the next day. And then the next day. And hopefully hang out a little bit more. So you can run things with PowerShell with that run as command. Question is, does that only happen when UAC is disabled? What is our current consent behavior? Let me run this reg query. Get back to our prompt here. So currently 5. The highest setting, correct? That is like default maximum what we should be setting. Yeah, default. The administrator to confirm whether or not Windows binaries run, or even it'll ask for binaries that are Microsoft defaults. So can we run with run as with just simple PowerShell? Let's try that. Hello? I did not want to paste the number 5 in hex. Copy, paste. Thank you. Okay, so that will prompt. That will prompt. Now, I am in an administrator... No, I'm not an administrator PowerShell right there. That's neato. That's neato bonito. So we can use run as without a problem, and it will naturally prompt UAC. However, let's find out if I ran this already from administrator prompt. We used UAC to get to that, then it will work just fine because that already has privileges. We can pop calculator without requiring UAC when you're already in a UAC allowed process. High integrity. Good? Good? Good. Just Incredible Studios, thank you so much. Really appreciate your support, and thank you so much for the donation. So, this could be handy, and this is actually a worthwhile one if folks aren't familiar. Look, should we move chat to the other side? Like, the fact that it's covering up text is still crushing me. Maybe I feel like we just can't have the full screen. whatever. You can use the file system as like an assigned share and mounted when you have admin access already. If you're already inside of the admin group, then you can just use the entire file system as an administrator with that methodology through like the UNC path after you designate it. Kind of wild, I think. I don't remember if I played that before. Anyway, kudos and credit to Carlos Polop and of course everyone on the Hacktricks team. Let's do FOD Helper. We need to do FOD Helper, and we need to start to probably take some notes. We have Sublime Text already installed and set up on this virtual machine. I don't know what is open in this. Okay, cool. There's nothing. Thank goodness. Let's set our color scheme. How did we get there? Let's set our color scheme to Monokai, because that's the only one that is good. Despite the other one that... What is the one that low-level learning uses? Marina? Oh, yeah, it's the one that I was just on. Like, his thumbnails... Look. Let me get distracted again. Low-level learning. He does hysterically use the exact same thumbnail, like, picture for every single like, thumbnail. Just about. Look at this. He's spooked. He's spooked over here. Spooked over here. Spooked again. Spooked again. Exact same picture. But look, he uses that like Marina Sublime Text color scheme, and it's just blurred out, and it looks phenomenal, and he gets buka views. He does a heck of a lot better than I do for half of the subscriber count, but like triple the views. So kudos, mad respect. And what was I doing? FOD Helper, for the love of God. Let's get back to our virtual machine. So if you aren't familiar with FOD Helper UAC Bypass is probably the most easy, vanilla, baby cakes, like starter, training wheels method to bypass UAC. Because it just takes some registry tweaks, and a whole lot of folks have written about this, and it's super duper well known, and it still works. Asterisk with a like parentheses and like disclaimer footnote there. Thanks for using Bing. Yeah, I'm just feeding Microsoft the monies. So FOD Helper is one of those utilities that will auto-ready start with high integrity, I believe. And yeah, they showcase it here with Process Hacker or Procmon, or one of those. And you can see it starts with high integrity, and then when it tries to do other things, like try to open files that have other program identifiers with MS settings, which is the configuration that you can again set in the registry. However, for the current user, which does not require admin privileges, it is not HKey LM or HKey local machine. HKey current user, you do have permission to write at, no matter what permissions you might have. So that could be handy because we could then stage some of these other fake Dumbo stupid registry keys and then be able to trigger that through FOD Helper. Does that make sense? We have some ISE code we could just kind of run, or PowerShell code we could just run in ISE to see that in action, and we can clean that up. So forgive me for a blind and boring and basic copy and paste, but I feel like I am just doing a little bit of song and dance before we start to go research some other not well-known FOD Helper, or excuse me, UAC bypass techniques. So this defines a function, which would ultimately mean that I would have to run the function again after I run the script, because it's just defining it. Ultimately, I just kind of want to ignore the fact that it's a function and clean up this code so it'll just straight up do it. Now, I think this would trigger Defender. I believe Defender would be able to see the setups within registry and then just, hey, whine and complain. But FOD Helper, I think, for the very first time, will still execute. And with that, your mileage may vary in actually using this. But it's, again, super duper well known. This FOD Helper UAC bypass is the thing that we might be able to get past user command. Does that make sense? I feel like I've been talking for way too long. So we do not have Defender on inside of this development machine, right? If I go back to Windows Security, it's going to try to look through and find the threat service, but it does not exist because I killed it. And now, if I hit F5, Administrator PowerShell's popped open. Is that supposed to run calc? No. Okay, it's just supposed to start PowerShell. And I didn't have to do anything. It bypassed UAC for me. Now, Defender did not flag because Defender does not exist. So let me step out of my virtual machine and let me see if I can get this to run on my host. So I'm on my host and ISC can fire up. And my face might be in the way, but we should be able to see Defender start to whine and scream about this. I'll F5. Wait a second. Defender? Are you with me? So it has a Hunter's agent on it, right? Rightfully so. That's kind of wild. Did those registry keys already exist? Was it too fast? Did I do something wrong? I am more than certain that has historically triggered Defender. Let me get into the virtual machine to see that in action. We had a Win 10 nanocore target when I was poking around with Nanocore. So let me fire this up. I'm assuming Defender is still on in this case. Because undoubtedly, FOD Helper should at least pop some notification. Anyway, we can take notes on this simple, stupid code because it would be handy to have that stored in some way or another. I already have a Sublime Text window open. Let's get it to the correct color scheme. And then let's just kind of jot these down. You read new folder. UAC. Let's do readme.md. And then let's just slap this here. And with that, we should note this is FOD Helper. Probably in a separate one. And what is going on with chat? I feel like, again, I just see it randomly repopulate in a flood. But it might just be me not knowing how to stream. Okay, so let's get another machine up and running. What is on this? What is on this? Whatever. We want to run Windows ISE, not through Bing, please. We want to run PowerShell ISE. And let me check if Defender is on for this. I'm more than certain it is. Oh, but cloud delivery is off right now. Yeah, Defender's doing its thing. So if we leave Defender in its normal state, let's just say, yep, you can do whatever you want. Now let's grab this PowerShell syntax. Does Sublime Text know like what color that should be? Let's just use Bash. Bash is pretty safe for shell scripting. If you are in ISE, by the way, you should use Control-R to open up your text prompt for an actual file that you want to mess with. Control-R is that. So, F5. There's Defender. There's Defender. My face is in the way. My face is in the way. My face is in the way. It saw my UAC bypass. Okay. I don't know what the heck's going on with my other host. Maybe an... look. So, FOD Helper is easy and boring, and I'm okay with that. It's still something that we should know. Now, FOD Helper can be level 1 for us, but we should level up. And I'm opening windows that I don't need to. But let's get back to our Googling around. We know FOD Helper is kind of the first option. We can read through Elastic Stacks. We have already been cruising through a little bit of Hacktricks, and they're discussing how you might be able to find other DLL hijacking vulnerabilities. I feel like that pool is empty, but it is something that we should do. It is something that we should do on a stream. Hey, just kind of go around, try to use like Crassius, I think, is Will Dorman's tool for it. Let's Google that. Crassius Will Dorman. Crassus. Crassus. Is that on GitHub? I think so. I'm assuming. Yeah. So, hey, I have not had a chance to play with this yet, but I desperately want to. And shout out to Will, as always. Will Dorman puts out absolutely incredible stuff. But what you normally do if you're trying to hunt and look for some of those, like, privilege escalation opportunities with DLL hijacking or any other file that another, like, Lolbin might end up using and showcasing, what you might end up doing anyway to just kind of see what a program does is use Process Monitor. And Process Monitor could see what other libraries you want to end up loading for it. And that way, if there's a DLL or a library or something that's missing and it just doesn't exist, but it's trying to find it, you could get in the way of that and do some DLL hijacking. And that's easily viewable within Process Monitor, but still takes a little bit of manual work. What you can do with Process Monitor in combination with Crassus is just get Process Monitor's logs, like a PML file, a Process Monitor log file, just feed it to Crassus, and then see, hey, do you see any opportunities for DLL hijacking or privilege escalation for things like this UAC bypass technique? So I would recommend, if you're interested and would like to kind of play and poke with that, Crassus is cool from what I understand. Again, from afar. I haven't been able to actually play with this personally. But look, it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty cool. It's cool. Anyway, let's get back to what we were doing. And where were we? We're done with VOD Helper for the time being. I think one other cool thing we can do to try to note things through before we go off into the universe to go read and learn some new things, we can probably take a look through Lolbins or Lolbass, because I don't know if you notice it, because there are not a lot of results for it, and it might be something that you don't even think of. Of course, Lolbins, Lolbass, everyone knows the living off the land binary scripts and libraries like GTFObins, but for Windows. Jacob Furnish, thank you so much. Hi, John. What tools, online or downloadable, would you suggest for DNS recon and CDN bypass? DNS recon? Is Spiderfoot the one that does that? Spiderfoot? Gut? Spiderfoot? GitHub? Am I thinking the right thing? I don't know if I am. Oh, maybe I am. I think that can do some recon. I might be totally neglecting that or getting that idea wrong. But it does some OSINT DNS stuff and things. Again, one that I have not used, so I cannot say with absolute certainty. CDN bypass? Are you talking like, hey, using Discord or like Teams or Dropbox or Google or any of the other things? Those I feel like, I hope should be, depending on your implementation or like what you're doing, I feel like you just, hey, upload something to Discord, and Discord CDN will then be hosting it. Maybe you can kind of stage some things there, if that's helpful. I have no clue if that's worthwhile. I know I have no thumbnail. I wanted it to be cool. Spiderfoot is trash. Too many false positives. Bummer. UAC stuff. Hey, with living off the land binaries and with Lolbins, you can actually specify the function or the functionality that you want it to search for with a /. So take note, the functions that a thing could do, like download files or bypass application whitelisting, or allow listing, execute AWL bypass again, alternate data streams, blah, 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 blah. One of these is, in fact, a UAC bypass. And there are a couple other entries that you can use here. Again, this uses the same technique of, hey, some staging within the current user and registry. We can do these for a couple of them. WS reset is an option, and this is actually pretty handy, but I think I have seen this one be manipulated. So I can't tell if Defender gets in the way of it, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry. During startup, WS reset checks the registry value, and this is something that you would have been able to see in Process Monitor if you were to explore it and play with it. So what we can do is basically use the same syntax that we already have for FOD Helper, and then try to do this exact same thing for wsreset.exe, and then let's experiment and see if it works. Again, I don't know exactly how we're going to do, but let's see if it works. We've got this path, And note that PowerShell syntax requires a colon after the Hive name. So what you might have copy pasted without a colon will not work here. But because we have that path, then we can create these. And I'm going to end up assuming that ultimately this needs to know not a named value like delegate execute like the MS settings one did for FOD helper, but for the default value, that is where you'll specify the program, what you actually want it to do when it opens up as the command, right? So let me put that back there. And we don't need this intermediary line. We are going to use the default thing. And if you aren't familiar with that, let's go open the Windows registry. Once again. And the thing is, let's see if we can even get to that path. Because we're in HK current user, right? So let me copy all this. The thing is, this path showcases all of those other associations between applications and like their file extension and the program identifier or CLS IDs like big serial number GUIDs, crap like that. When they get into these apps, and you can see them on the far left side, they're just a lot of nonsense to me. They probably mean something. Maybe they do. I don't know. However, they suck to read and make sense of. So the very, very ending of the string that we had that would naturally match for our WS reset.exe utility ends with MSDD2, right? So if I wanted to, I would try to go to this full location in Windows Registry Editor. Let me hit enter here, but it doesn't do anything because that path doesn't exist. That path doesn't exist by default. You can't actually get there because there's no location for it to go to. I'll hit enter and you'll see that I have not moved. My location bar has not moved. So it needs to be created, obviously, which means that our new item command needs to run, which means that this is necessary. However, I don't know if I'm just not thinking because it's PowerShell or whatever. Is there something that makes this recursive or forces it through other parent paths? Because you know, like when you try to run the makedir command or you make a directory, if there's an intermediary directory of, hey, like A, B, C, if A and B don't exist, then it's not going to work because the location in that path doesn't already exist. Cybersecurity with Ali says, hey, I've learned so much. Thanks so much. I super appreciate it. Do I have any other advice or tips you could share with me and other aspiring content creators? Yes, I have tons and thousands and loads of advice that I might be able to share. Let me say that I don't want to get too distracted, but I can go real talk for a little bit. Look, have fun. That is the absolute biggest, and I know that's such a boring answer, but like do the stuff that you enjoy because that's ultimately how you keep making content and making sure that you do keep making content is just do the stuff that you have a passion for and you're interested in. It's kind of fun and cool to see the thing grow, but ultimately the only thing that keeps you going through that, if it's not growing, is just being something that you like to pour your attention and time into. Because for a lot of time, it's not going to... maybe it'll be slower to grow. So make sure that you just have the same fortitude to just keep doing it because you're having fun with it. You don't have some other ulterior goal like, oh, make buku bucks as an influencer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All right, back to UAC bypass. I feel like that should be its own video. If I ever made more time in my life and I could record a video and like the 3 things that you need to know to become a cybersecurity YouTuber. Not that my perspective should be a part of that. But. All right. The predicament, the easy, tiny, stupid thing that we're now going to be bumping up against is if I try to run this new item command. I paste this into ISE. It does it? It did it? It did it? I don't know. The thing is, if you go to regedit, I'm pretty sure it didn't. I think it's lying to us. We need this path. Right? I copied too much from the PowerShell syntax. But if I try to cruise on this, it still don't exist. It still don't. Because... of that exact same predicament, I think that I mentioned earlier, that it won't create all those other intermediary ones. So, does new item even do stuff? Oh, you need to run update help? Yeah. And the thing is, you don't have to do this in PowerShell either, right? So PowerShell, new item with parent paths? Maybe? That's so dumb. I like hate myself that I have to Google that. But like other than that, I feel like you'd have to like piecemeal the path that you want to make, and then the next path underneath that you want to make, and then the next path underneath that that you want to make. And I don't know if that's right. like that looks stupid and dumb, but it'll obviously work. Does anyone know, just like off the top of their head, what is supposed to be, if there are parameters or if there is some other commandlet that ultimately ends up the making those subparents directories or paths? That would be cool. And it would save me the momentary Googling of literally that. Make path next. Hey, we are playing with some extremely slowly progress on maybe some user account control stuff. Chat's distracting me though, as they always are. So now this could run. As we've noted, during startup, WS reset will check the registry, and then the binary will be executed as a high-integrity process without a UAC prompt being displayed to the user. I'm pretty sure the default is all that we need to set. I think that registry value is literally all that we need. So this should work. Granted, this is awful and disgusting, but it should work, right? And now we'll run WS reset rather than FOD helper, because this is a different example, right? So, why am I... Leave me alone, people. Yeah, the TAC force command should do that, right? I see you, Jack. I see you, Light Jack. That should realistically do that. I would have expected it to for the file system, but why? Okay. Distracted. Will WS reset work at this point? Hey, thank you so much, Scott. I super appreciate all the kind words. And thanks for hanging out. What am I in right now? This is the terminal that I want. Okay. I'm still inside of my virtual machine. Paste this anyway, spit through it. Now we should start WS reset. The moment I hit enter, fingers crossed. WS reset should start the store, which is what it's doing. Let's go take a look at our paths, though, in the registry, because now we should see this created, right? No. Still not? Do I need to, like, refresh? Okay. Okay. Oof. So, command is now running. And with that, I would expect it to fire. Oh, does that work? In the chat, I see some paths that you might be able to use. Yeah. Do I have this wrong? Do I have this wrong? Because like every other program identifier handle does it this way. And like that's kind of what we just did for FOD helper, right? Thank you so much for the support, Bubbles Lord. Interested in learning about cybersecurity? Any recommendations for newbies on how or where to start? Pico CTF. I feel like that's a bad answer, but it's, I think, the answer for now. I really think that one is great to help folks get up to speed and at least foster some of the interest there. I feel like first time in registry? Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally cool with being an idiot here. If I'm still getting this wrong, like, I'd be happy to know. We don't need to run that anymore. I would just like to know. You know what I mean? And this might be the bummer of what Lolbins actually passes. Or at least what explains in that documentation. That would, if I actually got this to run, for one thing. There we go. Should start up, but I don't see another PowerShell window open. I see the support for, yeah, call center scammers. Yeah, we are going to be getting into that world soonish. Soonish. Folks didn't see, I'm really stoked for PCC. Do I have this wrong? Maybe there's some other research on that. Oh, MITRE ATT&CK just has this listed, but not specifically for WS Reset. Oh, okay, here's some other resources. And UAC Me has it covered just as well. This is just... Oh, no, okay, cool. I was worried that I was looking at something bad. That wasn't the page that I was wanting to. UAC bypass was chosen due to the fact that it does not require user authentication. And Microsoft has released a behavioral detection for that. So yeah, I would assume this would no longer work. What is the registry setting? They do this exactly as we saw. Same place. They use delegate execute. Maybe that is necessary. That must be necessary. Did they describe that? Delegate execute. Delegate execute. Nope. It's just mentioned in code. Okay. Well, let's put delegate execute back. And that should be under command, right? Yeah. So, how about that? How about them apples? Now, we should be able to run that and pop PowerShell. Hopefully, maybe we were supposed to. Did I get that wrong again? Oh! Should that be set item property? Or should that be new item property? It's there. It's there. What? It's not because it's a hidden window, right? Oh, new item will work when you pass path. Is that what you're seeing, Harmesis? Like if I pass path? We could try that. Let me try and delete all these hives and just see if it works. Or the keys there. Okay, so now only this. Whoa. Did PowerShell run? F5. Okay. Passing it with paths seemed to work. And then we saw a CMD start. And it died. But what if... Can we run like calc? Can we run just calc on its own? Let's give the full path. Calc.exe. Do that. See... What is starting? I feel like they're... I don't know if that's just happening too fast, or if that one is just dead in the water, or... We could fire up Procmon and try to see if this thing even works. Let's try to just filter for calc. To see if it even fires. Because I don't think it does. Alright, I'm sketched. Don't forget to listen. I would. Live on stream, I would forget to listen. It doesn't run it. You want me to sleep? Like, which part? Open Process Explorer and then set the delay the longest and then check the process tree. Process Explorer can do that? You can set a delay? I didn't know that. Oh. You mean just like watch it happen in the delay, presumably? It just fires WS reset conhost. Why does conhost start? I almost feel like conhost shouldn't start. Like, I feel like that only happened naturally because of our attempt messing around with registry, but I might have that wrong. You want to just try a pause? What if we delete the whole key again? Don't run it. Don't modify the registry keys. We should see only WS reset spawn, right? Oh, it does spawn conhost. Is that just because of start process? You tried the script here? Let's see if theirs would work. Let's just try their syntax on its own. We don't need this to be, like, decorated as a function. Can you? Okay, you can back to there. And we do everything that we have done before. Triggering payload, wait 5 seconds, and then cleaning up. Let's start from a clean slate. Let's remove everything in registry. Not that anything is there to begin with, because we had removed that previously, so let's F5 that. I don't see it happen. Like, I don't think it's happening. Not gonna lie. Also, yeah, hello, OA Labs. It's super cool to see you here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to watch me make a fool of myself. Where is WS Reset? There it is. I really just think it's not firing. So let's move away from that one because I don't seem to see that working. Unless someone has it working. I don't know. Now we will move on from, okay, so yeah, they're just redirects over here. Does it not work on like Windows 11? I guess they tested it on Win 10. Let's try it on that. Let's try it on that. Did I close ISE already? No, I didn't. Let's try it on the Windows 10 box. Like, this is fine. Defender is on, though, so we'll see if Defender even catches this. Let's get to ISE. I'm assuming it will, because everyone told me that they would. We can just fire that up. Defender killed it. My face is in the way, but you can see down below. Defender was not having that. Here comes the store. But yeah, that still did not fire. Okay. Okay. So, we have two others in Lolbins. We have MMC and Event Viewer. MMC takes a little bit more setup. Now, you could use this as like the management, like configurator tool thing for Windows. But for the actual UAC bypass component, you need to load an arbitrary payload DLL by configuring your profiler and then launching MMC to bypass it. You can mess with this to load a DLL, but that requires a DLL. And I don't think for the use cases that I want this, it would be worthwhile having a DLL. So I would like to skip MMC. Truthfully, personally, I would be willing to go entertain Event Viewer, though. Because Event Viewer looks like the same sort of setup as previous, where all we're doing is modifying one of the program identifiers in the HKCU software classes shell command. So let's mess with this one. All it takes is running Event Viewer and staging MSC file, presumably, right? I think. Let's try it out. Let's go ahead and create another space for Event Viewer. Let's just for our scrappy note's sake play with this. We can set it in Bash. And now we want to go to MSC file. We don't need to use this stupid thing if we use TACpath, as we have learned. And I'm going to assume that delegate execute is actually still necessary, because it looked like that was a necessity for WS reset, even though we still never got that to work. But that should pop up PowerShell with high integrity, bypassing UAC, if we get a chance to mess with these registry variables. Now that we can do that, is Event Viewer in System32? I feel like it is. I'm just manually opening up a Windows terminal right now. So there is a command called where. However, in PowerShell, it has a alias, which is super annoying. But you can use where, which is a lot like the which command on Linux. You could use where to see where a program is actually stored in your path. So where event viewer w.exe is actually in that location. So we're good. We're good on that. Yes, I should absolutely try moving a singular Excel document between multiple virtual machines and live through that trauma. You're going to trigger my PTSD again, Lapis. It's good to see you, my friend. I think this is good. I think if this works, then we're A-okay. but I don't know if it'll work. So let's get back to the registry because I do want to go see if we can get to MSC file. No, that does not exist. That is not a current path or location. So let's get to our ISE and let's paste in all of the syntax that we were using just a moment ago. And let's see if we can then fire this up. That's Event Viewer. There's Event Viewer. That is not an administrator PowerShell, though. Did I get that wrong? This sucks. What? Hello? Hello? MSC file. You exist. And shell, you exist. Open. Command. Delegate execute. That should work. Do these need to be like case sensitive or something? Like, am I stupid? And again, totally okay if that's the answer. I just need to know. I need to be aware so I can account for that for my entire life. Let's start fresh. Delegate execute and all these things exist. Let's get back to that. Checks the registry for MSC shell open command for location of MS, which is used to that. Okay, let's go read one of these. Let's read. Yep, you can use SIGCheck to see which binaries are willingly going to bypass UAC. Default should be a reg expand SZ. Does it need an absolute path? Is it only Windows 10 again? Nope. If you write your own, I'm assuming it just needs a full path then. Does it just need a full path? Did I just close out of that? No, okay. Stop. We should try... Event viewer pops, but I'm still not seeing my friend high integrity command prompt. Maybe we don't need delegate execute because they didn't do that in that example. Let's try that. Event viewer, no command prompt. So Win11 is really just not going to behave. That's the takeaway. Let's pop Windows 10. I see you among us in the chat, and as much as I don't want to believe it, maybe you're right. Defender caught that. What if we turned off Defender? Question is, did that actually save in registry? SKCU, is that system? Current control set? Control? Or is it software? It's cost software. So MSC file is going to work with shell set to nothing actually set. Yeah, Defender didn't even allow that to happen. So let's turn that off. And let's try that one more time. Go. I'm still not seeing it though. Like it's still not seeing the command prompt. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I'm totally okay with being wrong. Okay, Gonhop is letting me know. Gonhop, I appreciate you. That one's just not happening. We should probably update Lolbass. We should like let them know. I guess granted they probably are strictly only looking at those versions, so I'm assuming that's fine. Okay. So Lobans has expired. Our resources have been exhausted, and the only singular thing that looks remotely worthwhile so far is FOD Helper. We can dig into Elastic's updates. We can dig into UAC Me, which has tons of these. Get away from me, Bing. I don't want to see you ever again in my entire life. So, yeah, Firefox. And there are a couple others. Like I've seen some net PLZ control panel wizard thing. UAC Me should have a ton of these. However, they're broken up into different names that don't make sense to me. I just haven't looked into them yet. UAC bypass. Yep. Good explanations. Totally cool with it. MS config. You could use. They go through FOD Helper. Oh, did they mention Curver in this one? Yeah. I don't know if folks have heard of this, and I'm still trying to get smart on it. If you make use of Curver, or presumably current version that's set in the program ID specifier for a kind of like class or file extension or app thing, that way you can set it to something else. So it's a little bit more abstract. Like you can add in whatever file extension you want to be associated with it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, not a ton in that one. Seatbelt, IPsec, source code for a DLL, CMSDB. Oh! The elevation station one is still a thing, right? That's a big text. That's bigger than I expected. And I set my text pretty big so that you can all see it. They showcase this with Cobalt Strike. And they set up a C# structure. A little formality here to do that. I don't think that's what I want to tinker with right now. Oh, this is like using Kerberos, which is probably not going to be worthwhile for us. Of course, FOD Helper's in the mix. Okay, fine. Fine. Let me move over. How's everyone doing? For the folks that are still hanging out with us, you brave souls. I bookmarked this tweet because it was recent. Interesting recent UAC bypass method. And Will had tweeted, come on, you're so useless, Twitter. Well, I need to Google Chrome to translate this for me. I'm pretty sure I will. Yep. I don't know if I have Chrome installed on this. I don't think I do. All right, well, let's do that. This is content. This is what you all really came to see for. How do you install any other browser? Are you kidding me? You don't have Defender. You don't have an antivirus engine. Do I have Firefox? Edge isn't gonna work. Virus scan failed. It's always going to fail. There is no way not to fail. All right, I guess we're downloading this with PowerShell, baby. It's not in my downloads, is it? Nope. All right. Invoke web request? That? Outfile? Firefox.exe. All right, let's see if this takes 7 hours. Oh. That was surprisingly fast. You know what? I gotta cut it some slack. The thing is, I should not have installed Firefox. I should have installed Chrome. I'm literally going to install Firefox to then just install Chrome. And we're gonna ramp this up with web browsers, apparently. Yeah, we need Chrome. Yeah, it was like, all right, cool. Thank you for accomplishing literally nothing yet again, John. Skipped a step. I don't care. I don't care. Cool. Google Chrome. I just need you to be able to translate that for me. That's all I need. But thank you for not using the antivirus engine that is broken, absolutely killed and nerfed, to try to scan for the download. I appreciate the attempt, Microsoft Edge, but we slaughtered Defender in this virtual machine. So, there's that. This is how we operate when paid hourly. That's fair. Google Chrome, it's been so long. It's so good to see you. I don't want to sign in. Where was this page? Too many windows are open. You. Please translate. Please translate. Google Translate. Take me to this link. Translated. Go there. All right. Okay. Now we can read together. From this article onwards, proper nouns will be highlighted in the official English text. Let's analyze and understand the XML format. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't actually show you the picture and the context of what we're looking at. So we can bring this over here. There's nothing wrong with that. They stage COM objects as like a scheduled task, I'm going to assume, and then it fires because they're using the interface for the Elevated Factory server. The quote treat on this is Will confirming that it still works. And a good gentle reminder that, yeah, the consent boundary of user account control is not meant to be a Defender option. I'm pretty sure they shared the syntax for that here, though. Let's take a closer look. Let me clear out all these old tabs in Edge, and let's review. everyone. I don't know how far I want to drill down into reading live the component object model shenanigans. Because there's kind of a lot to it, I would think. I know they like don't want me to like copy paste and just slap in the code to see if it'll work, but I kind of want to, just to see. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Inproc Server 32. We've done something with that before, haven't we? Oh, these are the CLS IDs. Yeah, the Inproc Server 32 is what you would stage for that. Yeah, yes. DevDocs AMSR. I'm here to do your bedtime reading. So, elevation equals 1 means that UAC auto elevation can be performed given one of those CLS IDs in HKey class is root. So is it just registering one? I should actually read this article and not try to while I'm scrolling through it. But I feel like I'm blurring the line of recording a video and live streaming because I am actively just scrolling through this when I do actually intend to do something otherwise. But can they fire that as system? That's kind of wild. Okay. Enough eyes glazing over. They gave us some code. Let's figure out what the fuck I should be doing. C#. Both of these are separate. How do I mute you? To go find someone to ban? Oh, thank you, Nord. Thank you. Yeah. I just saw that over in the corner of my eye. I was like, what's going on? But do they share this on GitHub? Do they share this on GitHub? They do. Okay. They give me C# code, a new UIC bypass using the ILV factor system, get system directly. So we have this, correct? What is going on? Oh, Google Translate, get out of my life. You didn't need to do that. That's English. GitHub is already in English. We can just go to actual github.com. Go to the real one. Thank you. Okay. So now we should be able to actually read the commit messages and actually see this and get the syntax. How did their demo work? Did they pass arguments to that? Yeah. So they pass in the application that they want to run, and then presumably the name of a task. We can see the code and see what it does. Serve user domain. Let's use the exact same command line arguments just to validate that. And they have a copy paste from the enumerations that are necessary for a task. Is that it? Oh, no, this is our task. I'm looking at the wrong file. God. Okay. Local patch, Explorer. Do they still get arguments? I'm assuming. Let's brave the elements and fire this thing open in a good old Visual Studio 2022. Let's see how it goes. I always get scared of like Visual Studio because I'm so bad at it. Because there are too many buttons and it's too much for my small brain, and it can't load simple projects. Okay, C# console app. I'm assuming we need .NET stuff. So let's do a .NET. Framework. Okay. Can I just say Windows though? It doesn't need to do all the like cross-platform crap. Thank you. Windows Forms, console app.NET Framework. That's all I wanted. Let's do that. UAC test. And again, I'm assuming that .NET Framework is fine. I get stuff sketched out. Between the .NET Framework versioning and then the like NuGet solution provider and then the like, it's too much for my small brain. Okay, so we've been given a whole lot of code already, including the imports and the namespace, and I feel like the namespace isn't what we need. Go away. I do want all those imports. Thank you very much. However, the namespace, I think we can just leave as what it was. In which case, they have an internal class, but I don't think it needs to be that. That's what it started with. I don't see any immediate errors. It's not whining or complaining about anything inside of Visual Studio. So I think that's okay. Oh, gosh. Chat, we're going to have to, like, turn off. We're not... Where do I, Oh, yeah, we're totally going to have to... That's so wild. The thing is, like... I don't care that much. However, it would probably require me to, go do things. Let me see what's going on with chat. Let me go see if there's anything I can do about that, because there's shenanigans. Okay. Okay. I think it's fixed. I can't tell. Yeah. Seemingly better. Maybe. Okay. That was stupid. Alrighty, back to Visual Studio Code. Let's build this thing. It would be cool to do it in a release. Oh, it'd be annoying. Specifying like architecture would have been ideal, just because that feels normal to me. What? Now we got some Telegram shenanigans? You goobers. Let me go to the side again. Okay. All right, did it build? It built. All right, cool. We're good. Let me go try that out. UAC test.exe exists. Let's get back to our terminal. And I don't need to run that with terminal, so that's good. Let's go into that directory. Let's see if our UAC test is there, which it is. We are currently in a medium integrity process. We have not bypassed UAC. We are running as an administrator. Let's see if this works. I feel like that should have had arguments. I feel like there were arguments to that. They do the path and then presumably the name. What was it? What did they use? Microsoft Edge update task 1. I realize I feel like that probably wouldn't matter, but face in the way. Microsoft Edge update task 1. Let's do it. I die. Oh, shoot. Because I already ran it, it probably doesn't like that. How do I delete it? Can it be deleted? That's kind of frustrating. Like, presuming it registered and created all these things. So, can I reboot? That might be the easiest thing, is just sit back and reboot. Yeah, because it creates all these. Unless, can I, like, see them in scheduled tasks? Go away. Bing. Hello? Hello? I didn't open that, did I? I'm in System 32. I'm in an admin prompt. What? Why is task? I'm gonna reboot. Okie dokie. What else do we have? There was some like net one that you could do. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry, just an epiphany, because I realized, like, you know what? So look, let's go camera. We are hoping to be able to play with UAC to try to stage some things that would be handy for PCC, right? And the thought is that maybe we don't need to like bypass UAC in the offensive malware, ethical hacker, red teamer, pen testy mentality. What if we just tried to force UAC over and over and over and over again? That way it's just enough of a nuisance that said scammer will make it go away. Now there's a utility that lets you do that. There is force admin, and we can do that, but it would be nice to be able to play with it. So let's go back to our screen. Before I do that, let me go back to the attempt that we were just doing just a moment ago, because I do want to see if that works, and I'm sure it would, but what is the path to, like, projects, right? What is it? Source. Source. Repos. UAC test. UAC test. Under bin. Under releases. Oh my god. UAC test. Let's give it parameters this time. Windows. System 32. I'm going to turn off the music for a little bit, if that's okay with you. Because, yeah, it's just me. UAC test, C Windows System 32, CMD.exe, Microsoft Edge update task 1. No. I'm curious what I might be doing wrong, and that I'm sure I am doing something wrong, or it's Windows 11. And I don't want to deal with it at the moment. So let's go back to the other idea. This new, suddenly remembered idea. Force admin. C# payload builder creating infinite UAC pop-ups until the user allows the program to be ran. Input commands are ran by a PowerShell. Oh, ew. It's like a interactive setup and stage utility. I don't know if I want that. I feel like I just want this. Force admin is a collection of scripts that script templates utilize Windows scripting languages that will create infinite UAC prompts, presumably over the run as dependency or thing that we saw earlier. We knew we would be able to force the user account control when we use that, right? Oh, they have some credits for force admin. Like this, force admin.ps1. Interesting that they set that. And then we will just use run as to check our privileges over and over and over again, right? So this should be simple and easy. Like we can just paste this. And I'm totally fine with you not recovering things. You're fine. You're useless, ISE. Let's try just to run this. So UAC prompt, no. We tell it no. UAC prompt over and over again. No, no, no. That's hysterical. And once we hit yes, then it'll do its thing. Okay. How can we scheme that up? Like, do we pop up a balloon notification or just a message box that says, hey, you need to update Windows or something? Or what would look semi-believable? Yeah, that would still rely on the user's input, as you saw. We would try to really lean in on this social engineering aspect. We would need them, maybe update blocks. So let me see if I can grab the code from what we're working. I don't want to show it just yet because I don't want to have a leak. Kind of our prep for PCC. But I think it would be very, very cool to maybe stage those in a little bit of a different way. We might be able to... Balloon notification. Yeah. license. This one was fun. This one is fun. So, here. This would be like, hey, your Windows activation is about to expire. Okay. Oh, sorry. I need to actually switch the screen. Dumbo. Sorry, I was totally distracted. This one's kind of fun. This will have the same idea of like repeatedly like, hey, I need your password. You need to enter your password. And then it will allow it and write it to a temporary directory. Wow, you chat, you are honestly incredible. You are honestly like a human achievement. You are like the mankind brought to the extreme potential. So this could be an idea. We could end up using, let me put on some more jams now. How's audio on this? Does that play? Is that any good? I can't hear that. It's playing just for you and not for me. Never mind. I guess we're not doing that. Maybe we take these ideas where we can repeatedly do this, force the user account control, and test that with a file, because I want to be able to like continue to run what we would have ran. I want to be able to continue to run itself like as a script. Does PowerShell have a parameter for its own script location? Did I ever get into making music with the Sonic Pi? I tried to, but I didn't have the attention span for it. Does PowerShell have a variable for itself? PS script root? Yeah. Or you could use a script path based off of this. If you're using PowerShell 2 versions, we could use that. Let's try that. I hate that I can't, oh, PowerShell's so weird. Echo that script path. Hello? Hello? We're just... Is that because it's not an actual script? Let's do testing.ps1. Run that. Excuse me. So we aren't able to run scripts because we have not configured that. In which case now we can run this and it's still not allowed because I probably didn't actually hit the go button, in which case we don't actually have access to do that because we need to bypass user account control. Oh my gosh. Maybe, which actually gets me thinking, maybe PowerShell is not the ideal way to do this. That's so annoying. And I'm super bummed chat's being a pain. But that makes sense. Oh, there we go. That's all it needed. Okay, let's try and run that. And now it knows the location, but it does not know the script itself. Hey, Larry. Yeah, I am just poking around playing to see with either bypassing user account control or just forcing it so that we have code that's running in like the elevated admin. What is the right integrity level? Goodness gracious. Why not bring up a fake Windows sign-in page and port the input into temp? That could work. And I'm happy with what we have working so far in this, like, hey, here is Windows activation setup. That I think looks pretty kind of legit, like masking get credential. I like that. And we could do like a message box, or we could do a balloon notification. Those things could look kind of legitimate, but I do want to have something that could come before the loop of user account control. And I feel like it doesn't need to be the Windows activation, but I want to make sure that when we do what we have for this loop UAC force, we continue running the same script. That is what honestly would be ideal, because that way it's kind of self-contained. I see a lot of messages in the chat. Hey, you know what? NIM or Golang might work better than PowerShell. Right, but then you have a 64 megabyte binary if you use Go, which is annoying. NIM, I don't know if you're going to get that through Defender or any other AV, which again might not be a problem. We don't know. Yeah, we're just kind of staging and thinking what we could do to get away with high integrity things. C# could work. Why can't you play the patience game, wait for the user to run an MSI installer, and while they're running it, ask you for admin perms? Yeah. Unlikely that they will run an MSI installer, though. I want to force them to run an MSI installer. I want to be able to do whatever I want without UAC in the way. So... I'm thinking, yeah, this is a live thing. We're just hanging out. I should really do more of these. So I need to get better at not talking. I need to get better at just like staring at the screen and being okay with dead silence, but it'll come. You're probably going to have to get used to me just like my eyes glaze over and I forget what I'm doing and happening, but at least we're in it together. PSScript root. Let's check out that one. Okay, it just goes to its current path, but it doesn't go to its file name. That's annoying. Yep. So... we have options of forcing a balloon notification and a webcam error.bat. You know what? Let's pivot. Let's entirely pivot. Let's go to a different idea, because if we even were to play with our user account control thing, which I think we're all comfortable with using like the force admin idea, just repeatedly running it over and over and over again, we still need to be able to have the context. So look, it doesn't even matter, because if we were to use this style and structure and syntax, we would be able to start process PowerShell or invoke something one way or the other with the run as, and then once the capability fires up, we could start whatever we want. Like we could run calc. Can we not? If I repeatedly ask over and over and over again for user account control permissions, it'll pop calc just fine. Can I use PowerShell? I can use window style hidden, correct? That could work. So let's run that again. No, no, no. User account control will whine and get in the way. Then once we say yes, calc fires because PowerShell's doing its thing, nice and hidden. And that can work. Can this work on its own command? Because in the case that we aren't allowed to run scripts, then we still want to be able to loop the same way that we're doing. I think we're good. I think that could work. But now we must pivot, because we need to put this in a little bit more of a practical application. We need to be able to say that a scammer in PCC attempted to gain access to our computer as a victim, as poor person being scammed with a Geek Squad invoice, with a Best Buy marketplace thing. I don't know, anything. And then they'll try to get control over our machine with like AnyDesk or TeamViewer or Screen Connect, etc. So what if we stage AnyDesk? Download now. This might be a horrific idea. Because I can't have all you stupidos trying to see and connect to my machine. I can't do that. That might be the worst idea in the world. That'd be really, really annoying. But maybe hysterical at the same time. That's actually really annoying. Kind of puts a wrench in the works. Maybe I can just download these things and try to hide it from you. You freaking goblins. Because I know that's what you're going to do. You're going to troll. Let's get AnyDesk. And now let's open up another VMware Workstation instance. Now let's get a separate virtual machine going on. Let's break out 2 boxes. One of which can be actually our Win 10. Yeah, let's just use our Win 10 box. Let's bring him over here. And then we'll drag AnyDesk in there at some point. Let's say that can be our poor innocent victim. Oh. Hey, Husky Hacks. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with it either, my man. We're just kind of hanging out. We're just vibing. I'd love to be able to do computer things if only I were smart. Is Defender still off on here? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Come back on. And that way we won't have to deal with knowing whether or not we've actually disabled Defender or not. So, okay, I'm going to put AnyDesk on both of these machines, and I'm going to connect to the Windows 10 target on the right-hand side with the Windows 11, I don't know, activator. What's a cool name? Practitioner. That's not very cool either. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to hide the computer screen so you don't troll me like you already have. You freaking goblins. Let's fire up AnyDesk. Good. This is when I should start the music. Okay, cool. Now we can vibe. And I should attempt to connect on this. Allow access. Yes, John would like to have allow access. And we hit accept. All right. Why can't I rename it? I don't want you to see this stupid number. That sucks. Is this why scammers do so much? Probably. It literally won't, like, change the name of that session. That's super frustrating. I mean, the most I can do is, like, move it up. No, then you can still see it. Shit! Scuffed stream. As it should be. Okay. Show us the numbers, John. We're ready for it. All right, cool. Are we safe? No leaks? You can tell me, chat. You got to tell me if anything is leaky. So, say we had access. What can we do? I don't think there's a whole lot. Set passwords. Can we draw? Whiteboard. I don't have a license. We can see the permissions. We can't block their input? Why not? So control mouse and keyboard, synchronize text clipboard, keyboard layout actions. Request elevation we're not allowed to do. Switch slides we're not allowed. Oh, is this all because of the license? Does anyone have an AnyDesk license? Can anyone give me their AnyDesk license? Browse for files. Ah! Leaks. Time to kill everything. Man. Ruined. So ruined. Leaks. Get some more music in here. They have the numbers. Well, blow that up, I guess. I don't know. So realistically, you can't do much. How much is an AnyDesk license? We can do a couple others. We could see, I don't know, if there were capabilities between TeamViewer or others. Ultimately, I think it would be really cool to still mess with some of our others. You'll buy me a license. You will buy me a license. You'll buy me a license if I tell you how much it is. I'm extremely flattered. Buy now. Oh. That's cheap. It's we can afford that collectively. Like together. Like if we all pitch in a penny. We could probably, maybe, we might be able to pull it off. You know what? This is just a high cry for a sponsor. If I just nerf app data, does it do anything? Yeah. No, I know they use it every day. Okay. We were in a point, in a place, process monitor. No, that's not the hell I wanted it. We had a short PowerShell loop that would repeatedly prompt for the user account control. And that would eventually end up running what we wanted to run after it finished. The idea from Chainsky Force admin. Can I suggest looking into Kade's Elevator? It's a UAC bypass tool I've used my test detection. Absolutely, Murph. Anything for you. Thank you so much for the support. I'm grateful. Assuming that. Oh, yeah, I've seen Kade's around. He's done some pretty cool shit. Elevator allows the bypass and UAC prompt. C++ stub. That's it. This is Rust. What does it do? Thank you so much, RPM. Oh, RPM Tim K, thank you so much. I appreciate your support and paying for AnyDesk licenses. Is that all? What is the script.py supposed to do? Do they have any releases that we can just fire up? This would be, oh, I would need to install Rust on Windows, which we could do. We also need litcrypt. Oh, you need to set an environment variable and then it would just spit it together. We could try it. Let's get Rust on Windows. Because we need cargo. Yeah. But does it just let me run this? Does that fire up on Windows just fine? Yeah, I think it does. Good. And then it does its thing. But I was distracted. We were also trying to think on what we might be able to do with Force Admin. AnyDisk would be ideal. Or if we would be able to even stage that with it. Run. Yeah, Defender, I know. I know you're turned off. I killed you. Get distracted again. Now we have Rust. Rust C? We have Rust C. Do we have cargo? We got cargo. Okay, cool. Let's clone this. Make der, oh God, git. Dunzo. Do I need to do this? Oh. We need a legitimate encryption key. What is that? Oh, does it have to be any key? Or can it just be literally anything? I'm assuming it can be literally anything, and I'm going to follow through with that until it yells at me. And then we build it. Oh, wait a second. I am in PowerShell, and that probably set a legitimate thing. I think I need to set that as an environment variable, and PowerShell was going to screw me. Does that work? I think so. How about that? Get your stuff, see if you're good. Litcrypt encrypts the string literals in the binary used by your environment key. Okay, cool. So it's that. Yeah. Sweet. Let's see if this... oh, we compiled. Okay. Dope. And then under target and release, it should be able to work just fine. Elevator. Yeah. And then we just try to run something. And that's it. New console. And that's all you do. You just run cmd.exe. You do it. You do it to it. It didn't do it. Is that my fault? Is that my bad? Because I'm totally cool again with it being my bad. Let's move into an already UAC bypassed one to see if it would do what it would do when it should do what it would do. But that's really not all that interesting, and I would assume it would be just fine. So, did I do it wrong? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're live, and we're making fools of ourselves together. So, now trying to run... Oh, God. Windows. /elevator. Elevator. It still doesn't fire with... an admin prompt. Is this Windows 10 shit? Yeah, Lapis. I struggled a little bit to get the stream up. Had to get chat working. Need to remember. I literally had to remember how to stream. I'm still not doing all that hot. Did it actually open Notepad though? I know it said it tried to. Let's check out Pokemon. I don't think it's going. I'm grateful. But am I wrong? Tell me if I'd love to learn. Okay. So here's the thing. We are good with Force Admin. We are. We literally are. The question is trying to stage the things that we might be able to do. What other options? Is it crazy to just do Force Admin? I don't think it's that bad because a scammer is going to just click through this over and over again. We can add a little bit more decorations with the message box ahead of it that says like, hey, your Windows activation is over. And then you will pop that. And then following that, we'll run some implant, some rat. Like rather than calc.exe, would we have staged the other executable that we want to fire in like the file transfer? Could do that. Zoo Archer, you're totally right. Force Admin is just a task kill away from being a nothing burger. However, I don't think that, you know, the folks that they're up against are going to do that. And it is inadept, inadequate people. Yeah, we're trying to think up some things that would be fun for PCC, for the People's Call Center. And I think trolling with user account control would be just fine. Joe says, hey, you know what? You haven't told us that you love us in quite some time, John. I feel like I did in the last video. I feel like I said it in the like the very outro for the last video. Starting to feel like he doesn't love us. Look, guys. Daily Minecraft, hey, thanks for hanging out. We were playing with some UAC bypass stuff. Not really succeeding in literally anything. We went ahead and got FOD Helper working as it should, knowing that it would end up being bypassed. Or excuse me, detected in Defender, which isn't an issue. Or like accepting that risk. A couple of the other things, we tried some lolbins like MMMC, which is apparently fixed, Event Viewer, and again, the stuff that would be not all that working on a Windows 11 machine. And then we tried a couple other cheesy things, like a scheduled task creator that I failed at getting to work, and then a whatever we just tried that I failed to get to work. Again, probably I wonder if it's genuinely Windows 11. And we can try this on Windows 10 or Windows 7, but I don't know. I'm honestly, like, seriously just leaning on towards leaving it as Force Admin. Because I think being annoying with over and over again prompting a UAC prompt is not that bad. So, look, we got some functionality kind of put together where we could say, pop up a Windows message box and then block input. So like, hey, keyboard and mouse wouldn't work. And like, hey, it covers the screen like a stupid black box. And that way we could say, hey, whatever, you need to activate your Windows license or update. And that would be cool. Especially if we combine those with, hey, just the prefix for user account control. And then forcing it. I feel like that would work. It would be cool. With that said, I've been making a fool of myself for maybe like 2 hours together with you all. Just over 2.5 hours, or just over 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I feel like I've accomplished literally nothing, which is probably the vibe for live streams. But at least we got a little bit more consistency and ideas. And thanks so much for all the support. So, hey, please go take a look at yesterday's video, by the way, if you haven't already. Again, I'm super stoked to see that just popping off. And more stuff next week, and I hope to be able to play a little bit more tomorrow. But I've got this weird predicament where the room that I'm in is completely covered in these foam panels behind me, like, as you know, as you've seen. So I am in a void, like the pitch black room. Granted, I have these two studio lights for like high quality camera stuff beaming down on me. And I have black styrofoam panels all surrounding me. It is literally an insane asylum. Like I'm in a straitjacket room. Normally it's not that bad. However, the window, it'd be really cool to have some like airflow, to have some a breeze every now and again. But then you hear dogs barking and the ice cream like truck come through. So I sacrifice myself and sweat to death, but it's pretty worse when I do it during a live stream because I feel like you just see me like falling apart and crumbling here. So yes, for everyone saying yes, it's a padded cell. Literally in a little insane asylum room here. Solitary confinement. I could invest in an air conditioner. You are correct. Oh, we love that. Love that for you, John. Love that for you, John. Sweat to death. Put more shirts on. I was looking for PS Whoa. Module path? Is that the one? We're going back. We're going back in. That's where it loads the modules, though, right? That's not the current location of the script. Unless you're referring to other scripts that might be loaded in the current directory. I still don't think that's it. I'm not sure. The PS module path should be the module location, not the location of the active running script. As far as I know. Yep. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Norgard. Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, we still accomplished nothing, but it gives me a little bit more ideas on Force Admin. What would be a fine hook, or what would be a fine pretense, though, for that? Should we have some LNK file? Like, should we have a Windows shortcut file that's created? And maybe we can mess with that. That would just try to run PowerShell over and over and over again and force UAC prompt. We should build that. I could do that. I think I have energy for that. Literally, like, right-click new shortcut. That's not something that I should require energy for. But can we make this one line? That's the question. Can we say PowerShell.exe and then this? Does that work? I feel like taxi is usually what you do there, though. But, like, will this work? Control R. Yeah, it works. Do I have a stream schedule? No. It's whenever I want. Okay. So that did it once, as it should have. So then we can do a little while loop, right? We do a start this thing while true. We could do a try in there. Nothing wrong with that. We could start a try. And then after exit, we can catch that and then catch and then close our while loop, right? The question is, are we ever going to run into like a maximum command length issue, depending on how we end up invoking this, right? Goku, thanks for hanging out with us. Have we heard of Redline Slurs? Yes, we have. Wrap that invoke command script block. We could do that. I'm not sure about streaming on Twitch. How about this? PowerShell will be invoked. No. 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 Okay, user account control is now forcing this over and over and over again until I hit a yes, in which we pop calculator. So that works. So we could do that in a singular command, which is cool. So that means we can make an LNK file really, really easily. We could have on our desktop, say, a new shortcut for type the name of this. That's fine. It would be cool if we could, let's just say high integrity calculator, right? The high calculator, HI. Thanks so much, Slimy YouTube, for your support. DMC5, you want to see reverse Seroxen. Dude, you know I would suck at that. It would just be a slaughterhouse. I'd get dumpstered. Look at that. We got a little stupid little shortcut to be able to pop that open. However, it would be cool if we could hide this stupid unified. We change the icon to like a little calc, and this is just me decorating it. There's literally no value in doing this whatsoever, but that would be fun. Hello, go back to calc, please. Good, 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 good. And that works. High value calculator is now popped open. It's annoying that UAC will show that prompt, though. It's annoying that it'll show it with PowerShell, because then I can't hide that. Like, unless I do that through some other executable and like proxy it some other way, then UAC is always going to end up showcasing PowerShell as what wants to run. And the program location, which is frustrating. But if we just force it, then it's fine. I mean, you could obfuscate this over and over and over again if you wanted to. Maybe that's worthwhile doing. Can we do that easily? So PowerShell's trying to run C PowerShell, calc.exe, in the syntax that we have built out here. Can I run start process with those? Have you tried disabling the registry behind UXC? Yes. We tried that a little bit ago. Write code that literally exits pixels on the screen to erase PowerShell. I'm down for that. I would love that. If you pad this thing with spaces, is that visible? Like in our giant target here. What if we just pad it with a bunch of spaces? Like normally you can do that just fine in the like target location for a LNK file, and that works just fine. But what does it do inside of the UAC window? Is PowerShell going to have a bunch of spaces following it? Hello? Hello? Or did I break it? Maybe I broke it. Pretty sure I broke it. UAC is not popping at all now. Okay. Where did I go? Oh, start process. That one. Broken is good? Yeah. So after PowerShell, are those spaces? I don't think those count as spaces. I feel like that's not enough room. I feel like that's not enough room for it to be. Yeah, and you'll very easily run into the max character length. Again, this is okay. This running in the way that it would be with an actual implant, I'd be okay with. And it's just a stupid wrapper to then invoke that with a calculator. Yeah. I feel like I'll need to mess with AnyDesk or TeamViewer or Screen Connect or any of the other like remote desktop things where they could kind of gain access with a little bit of stuff offline of a stream, because I still don't want to end up leak numbers and do that. You know? But this would work in its like extremely primitive sake. Unless there's more that we want to decorate that with, because presumably you could set this as like a passwords.xlsx file and then stage that. And you could run that, or if the scammer were to like pull that down and try to grab it, if you change it to like W9 bank info crap, they could steal that and try to pull it down to open it on their machine. And if it's an LNK file, it's at least maybe a little bit more fooling. Maybe really reliant on some of their dumb tricks. But how could you embed the binary or like the actual code that you want to run inside that though? I wonder if it's because it should be an MSI exec, I think. Like, so daily Minecraft, if we had this single thing, if there was only one opportunity to try to fire off a high integrity process, right now this is staged to just be a single line of code, and ultimately it would just, what the, oh. Because like all this does is basically run calculator. Unless there were another script to it. Yeah, LNKs are extremely useful. And we could do like a click once application. We could do some other things. You could enable SSH, but then you need to know a little bit more. PDF or PNG. PDF cannot, from what I know of. PNG cannot, from what I know of. A PDF, you can include a link that might do some other weird, sketchy stuff. But so here's a cool thought. Like well, I want to try to fit in like a drive-by download, and like, oh wow, that would be slick. Scammer goes to a web page and then gets forced to pop this, and that requires the UAC prompt, and then you can get some more control that way. But the scammer is going to be controlling your computer, as would be the case of a natural scam. Yeah, we could curl something. We can take advantage of all of my .zip domains, 0.zip, make whatever subdirectory hell that we want. Yeah, yes. Everyone's like, yes, zip domains. That would be fun. Goodness gracious, thank you so much. Heart Siddharth, can you please search for Epsilon Beta Netfly AP access point? I was recently targeted by it. I am very, very grateful for your donation. However, that is a little bit of a mountain to climb. While I can search for it and Google it, I don't think that I would be able to go through quite a analysis on the cuff right now in the moment. But thank you so much. I will add it to the to-do list in the ever-growing ungodly long to-do list. Is it possible to make PowerShell run code from, let's say, Git subrepo inside an app, for example? So yes, we could totally stage something on GitHub. We could totally stage something off one of the 0.zip. We could do whatever invoke expression, IWR, net, open client, etc. But yeah. Getting the more remote desktop control commands or like utilities, again, like Screen Connect or AnyDesk or others, I feel like I need to kind of explore and play with off stream. Yeah. I appreciate all these subdomain offerings. Do I have any other cool music that'll actually play on my side? A little bit, slowly. So, I feel so bad like I'm running out on things to poke and play with. But again, I really think we have some fundamentals and a little bit more that we could explore off screen. But I have to think kind of decorating and creating a scheme based around the force admin idea where you just repeatedly hammer the UAC prompt until someone clicks yes, that would work. And if we decorate it enough, like if we try to hide the command they want to run, or we have staged some other things so it doesn't run only one executable, or at least kind of proxies it that way or another, then we can control it well. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Big thanks to everybody. Really appreciate you hanging out. This has been really cool and really fun, and it's been a fun reminder of the horrors of live streaming. Between awful things going off in the YouTube chat, between completely distracting donations and just random requests and questions that throw me for a loop, and not being capable to read something directly in front of me, and still like juggle and unicycle and kind of be an entertainer all at the same time. But it's been a ton of fun, and I'd like to do more of it, and I would like to get back to it so we can try tomorrow and maybe get a little bit more ideas going. But yes, the questions, do I love you? Of course. Thanks so much for hanging. And I don't know if I'll save streams anymore. I think maybe we could use them for some video fodder and like content that we could actually push on the channel. But having like the VOD itself as a stored artifact of history, I don't know if it's a good idea, because I just have too many, flops and foops and fails. But yeah, I think I just hit the stop streaming button. I think that's it. Unless we just fade out till black. Is there a cool way to do that? I feel like I need to get back into